Salutations, class, and welcome back. Tonight we will be resuming our adventures in Oblivion. It always takes me a bit of extra time during the beginning of each and every one of these streams in order for me to get this darn game to be compatible. Let's see, that might be a good distance on the mic right there. And we should be ready to begin. Let me know if there are any audio levels that need rebalancing, or any sort of other technical difficulties we may have. So, where we last left off, we were talking here with the ghosts of various Knights of the Nine who'd previously failed in their quests to uphold and protect the Crusaders' relics, of which we have found a few pieces. Hence the very holy look of our character right now. We possess the cuirass of the Crusader and the helm, but we will need to gather the rest of the pieces of the set in order for us to continue our quest. It is allegedly our destiny to take up arms against, what's his name? Umaril the Unfeathered, former Sorcerer King of the Aliads who, as High Elves are scummy to do, tended to cheat death. So we must return to the spirit realm and slay him once more. Beautiful mural back here depicts the battle. Right here on the right you see the guise of Pelena Whitestrake himself with his befeathered helmet versus the very spiky Sorcerer King. It's a little dark and rainy outside. I think we'll go back in and see if there are any beds available. Probably not up here, not just yet. We have one. Now, we do have a little bit of freedom in which the way that we can approach these. I'm going to invest in the 2+5s that we have, and then luck. As we have done so far. 1 point into luck, and then 2 into the other stats. There we have the same image again. Umaril the Unfeathered versus Pelena Whitestrake himself. Perhaps one day I will take the time to read these books thoroughly on stream. Would be a good way to practice the voice work. Alright. For what I remember of the last time that I played this game, the boots might be what we want to find first. That is the quest for the gauntlets, the mace, shield. There we go. The boots of the Crusader are actually required for some of the other quest lines he would undertake. We are nearly over-encumbered though, so I might try to see if I can find something and store some stuff in. Let us make our way to Skingrad. I suppose that will work best for us. We can start selling some of our old equipment there. We are already engaged in battle. Who goes there? A rat, of course. I suppose this is what we will have to deal with now, since I am wearing enchanted gear. You're going to see my character model flash anytime we take damage, blocking it or otherwise. The enchantments are bizarre in this game. I don't know if you can see it very well, but my character has a very faint white outline because he is wearing enchanted gear. It is a lot more visible during foggy days, and in fact it was much more egregious during Morrowind. Enchanted items possessed a sort of metallic sheen over them just like in Minecraft. But during those foggy days, it would actually render your character almost invisible. Behind this sort of ominous shroud that would follow you. Luckily, we're past the days of such absurd, outdated graphics, correct? We're supposed to be on a crusade against the High Elves, but it seems our biggest enemy right now would be rats. Just like the start of every fantasy adventure. And I am over-encumbered. I should have known better than to pick flowers. Nothing we can use to get rid of those. That should be good enough. There. That will ease our burdens momentarily. It will be a short quest. Oh, wow. We're already halfway there. Allegedly, the world of Oblivion is roughly the same size as Skyrim, even though they shouldn't be that according to the canon lore. I always felt like Morrowind was biggest to me, given that it had the most dangerous landscape. In Skyrim and Oblivion, you can sort of just travel anywhere. In Morrowind, you couldn't go anywhere near the center of the map with Red Mountain. Plenty of danger to be found. See if one of our waste shrines here has a buff for us. That will work. We have a few items we can sell off, but our inventory is slowly weighing itself down with more and more things that we find. I forget, did you have any permanent residents yet? There are... Oh, dear. Hello, sir. Oh, he's just taking a nap with his eyes open. Nothing, suspicious going on here. We'll get back for our stuff later. First, we must ease our initial burdens. There are the few DLC quests that we have, which each give us a different sort of residence. Let me know in the chat, we have 3 options, each with a different fantasy class theme. The first, to the northwest in Coro, would be Battlehorn Castle, which is befitting of a warrior-type character. You get a castle, a gate, some guards, a few, special enchanted weapons. My personal favorite would be the tower that's near Bruma. I forget what it's called. Frostcrag Spire, that's the name of it. It's the Wizard's Tower plugin, and so accordingly would be befit for a wizard-type character.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Choosing between the fine steel and the silver longswords, I think we can stick with the silver longsword for now. Its damage will go up once we repair it. Get rid of the rough leather items. Most of our useless crafted potions. I think we can keep the restore fatigue. Most of the restore fatigues.
That's a fair.
I suppose I could haggle for a better price. That would be far more necessary.
That's more than I'd usually.
Let's do that while we are here. Going to get rid of whatever weightful items we
fine
find.
Transaction.
I don't think we need that either.
You got a You've made a good...
Or that. We don't need rulebooks in this house.
You drive...
Of course, anything that has a weight to it will not be very important to us.
You drive a hard bargain.
Do we need these Welkin stones? I think I'd rather have the Restore Magicka potions instead. That should have worked wonders for our inventory.
Goodbye.
That's about 50 pounds lighter.
Fight well.
Salutations and welcome to the stream.
Yes?
Repair
I
my
can
stuff,
fix
please.
whatever.
We have 5,000 gold. It will not be too far off from us being able to purchase one of
Hi
our
there.
first houses. Alright. That does have 7 damage, which does match the steel longsword that we found. Silver weapons have a unique damage bonus versus undead, which we will definitely be fighting a lot. What do you want? There. The cat doth stare out the window. Again. Let's see if that guard is still there.
You have my ear, citizen.
I have your ear, and I have this guy's stuff. We'll take that, since it's harder to get your hands on some guard equipment. I know once you rescue Kvatch, you get their stuff, but it's otherwise very difficult or nearly impossible to get any sort of guard equipment without, doing a variety of illegal things. The uncommon guard helmet as well. 5 armor versus... also 5. I do like the round look of that shield, but we'll stay with the diamond shield to keep with the theme. And we are already nearly over encumbered again, so we shall do a very noble thing and sell some equipment back to the city of Skingrad. Go away.
Over here!
I know exactly who you are, and that's why I'm avoiding you. We may speak to him at a different time. It seems he will relentlessly follow us otherwise. I think the shops are in this direction, so we will look over here. Don't think the other side of the city has any stores.
How? What?
Hey there, I'm back. I have more stuff
All
for you.
right.
His disposition is
May I
already
interest
maxed.
you in some of my fine wares?
We'll keep that. It's harder to get your hands on one of those.
You
The steel equipment, however, we will definitely get rid of.
You've made a good bit of gold.
Incredibly
Goodbye.
heavy, every single piece of it is. We should be ready to go. Off to follow the colorful triangles on the map.
Who will help an old beggar?
You know, if we're to adopt the guise of the
Been
Crusader,
saving up enough for some medicine.
we should act the part.
Thank you, kind sir. Blessings of Julianus upon ye.
Thank you. Feels nice to do a good deed, doesn't it? Is this the pathway up to the castle? Yes. We're not going there. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. I am moving soon, so my streams may be a bit more sporadic for the next few weeks. But after I move into the new place, I do have plenty of soundproofing foam which I can install around here. It should make the sound a lot more crisp and interesting to listen to. I usually have my microphone gain down a little bit, but with some proper soundproofing I can turn it way up. It will be much easier to hear me. Those are maple trees, correct? With the red leaves. It looks like those whenever you get close. Since we have a more proper direction for us to go for, we are going to stay off the roads most of the time. Previously, if our only destination was between cities, I would fast travel. But we have wilderness to explore. And stuttering frame rates. I do hope I'm not dropping any frames. I have the stream set to 30 frames per second, but I wonder if I could get away with 60. Perhaps with less intensive games like Oblivion here. Maybe not so much with Strive, and definitely not with Red Dead. I've tried that before. I don't think I even get 100% of my frames when I'm doing 30 FPS with Red Dead. Ah, who goes there?
What's the matter? Getting tired?
No. We are definitely getting zapped. Easy enough. We will need that hammer. I sure do feel like a crusader now. Starting to look the part as well. I'm glad they give you the two most necessary pieces of the outfit first. Even though the rest of my equipment is leather. We definitely look the part already. Goodness, he gave us a beating. Hopefully we have no more combat challenges until we reach our destination. Unfortunately, we are not so lucky. Feel that 2006 combat. Let me just swing my sword over, and over, and over again. I believe this is where we need to be. Curious, there's no marker for this one.
What? Bye.
Ah, you're who I should
All
talk
are
to.
welcome here. What brings you to the altar of Kinnereth, my child?
There's no marker for this map, for this shrine. You only see it for the Daedric quests.
You would seek the holy relic Kinnereth has bestowed upon the world. Then you must prove yourself worthy. Kinnereth's creations guard her relic, and you must pass the test before you may be granted the boots.
Kinnereth's creation, so it's probably going to be a Spriggan.
I cannot say what it will be, for I do not know. Kinnereth herself will decide in what manner you shall be tested.
It's been a good 15
All I
years
can do
since I
is
last played
direct you to
this.
the Grove of Trials and remind you to heed Kinnereth's teachings. Fear and respect nature and all her creations.
Fear and respect. Got it.
Indeed. Nature itself is Kinnereth's domain. All its creatures are her wards. You would do well to remember this when it comes time for your test. Not far from here, to the west, nestled within the great forest, it is a place many would overlook. I warn you that it is unwise to take anyone with you. You should go there alone.
I suppose that's the hint for if we happen to have any followers with us at the time.
Then proceed directly to the grove, as your test has begun. Kinnereth may choose to guard you along the way. That is up to her. Good luck. You too.
So, in order to get the item that belongs to Kinnereth, the boots, we're going to have to act like a barefoot hippie and love nature. Ironic, isn't it? Do hippies wear shoes? I don't think they wear shoes. We do. I'm not tracking mud into my house. Just in case we are otherwise unprepared. I've reached the Grove of Trials. I shall have to wait and see what Kinnereth has in store for me. I'll give you a hint. I already know what we have to deal with, and it is a very, very large bear. Thing is, we're not allowed to attack it. So that's literally what this test is. We just have to kite this bear around in a circle. Oh, that doesn't hurt that much. A bear attacked me in the Sacred Grove, but I made no attempts to fight back. A cave has been revealed, and it would seem the boots of the Crusader are waiting inside. That was a lot faster than I expected. What if I... He's not going to follow me. Bears can't open doors. Oh, right. I said Spriggans. Funny how they don't attack us in here. I have acquired the boots of the Crusader. Completing Sir Junkin's quest by recovering the boots of the Crusader. I should continue to search for the relics that the other Ghost Knights were questing for. That was easy enough. Very straightforward. Oh. Are all the relics weightless? No, just the boots for now. Our forest friend is gone. We do have all the other quests. Where should we begin? What would be closest from here? Fort Bulwark is a very far distance away from us. The mace is also in Leowin. And the gauntlets are actually in Coral, not that far from us. Let us begin with that. Off to Coral we go. We will have a chance to stop by Battlehorn Castle if you are interested. You know what? Let's do it. While we are in the neighborhood. So we have our boots. We are acquiring the gauntlets next. Look at those. Very shiny, very polished. We don't have a quest for a sword, though. It seems we only have a quest for a mace. Knowing that we specialize in blade weapons, though, we will definitely need a change. The sword, I believe, was the last quest. I suppose they saved the single most important relic for the last one that you would find. Deal with those mushrooms. Keep an eye out. We're looking for any of the steel blue caps. Although I think they're further south of this area. Lady Smock, I think those were important for something. We're generally wanting to make the most simple potions here. Restore health, restore magicka, and damage health. I wonder how many of these are real. I know you can find things such as foxglove, for example. Ah, that's just what we are looking for. Steel blue Entoloma. Speaking of real flowers, here's strawberries.
Anytime now.
The coral emblem is a tree. And all of their armor seems to be a lovely shade of blue. As is the trope for Elder Scrolls, every single city adopts its own symbol and color. In Skyrim, you can see the symbol for each city by its point on the map. The map icon. Here within the Chapel of Stendarr should be the gauntlets. But it's, familiar trope you should know. We're just going to pick them up, shall we? You've seen this one. A variety of pop culture hammers. We'll have to take our moment to look around.
I'm Otius Lauren, primate of Stendar.
Primate?
You stand before God's servant in the House of the Nine. Be humble and show respect.
But you said you're a primate. We're not playing Guilty Gear here. We have no room for gorillas.
The gauntlets, eh? They're Arelder's responsibility. Speak to him about them.
Good day.
Who would that be? You?
Greetings.
There we go.
What brings you here, my son? Ah, yes. The gauntlets have been here for ages. I know only the basic story behind them. They're more of a novelty these days.
How
My
dare
only real
you?
involvement with them these days
A novelty?
is keeping the youngsters from hurting themselves trying to pick the gauntlets up. What is your interest in them, if I may ask?
Excuse you, I'm wearing the other pieces of the armor set.
Oh, I'm afraid that's quite impossible. They don't move, not even a bit, as if they're the heaviest things in the world. Don't you know the story behind them? I'm not familiar with all the details, but I know roughly what happened.
Supposedly some worthy knight, I guess. Knowing how most of the quests work in this quest line,
Yes.
we will need to
I
ask
don't
for
know
the full
whole
story.
thing. A great many years ago, a knight of the old order did something terrible, and the gauntlets just fell off.
We already heard this
They
story,
dropped
however.
to the floor right where he stood, and no one could lift them. It was a sign of the curse placed upon this knight by Stendar, I think. That curse still lingers on today, in fact. Poor Kellen. Oh, why, he's a descendant of that very knight from so long ago. The curse has affected his family all these years. He suffers
Seems
from
a
it.
disproportionate
He
punishment,
came
shouldn't it?
here from Hammerfell seeking a
Why
cure,
do divine
but
beings enjoy cursing entire
well,
bloodlines?
there's really nothing that can be done for him, I think. He may know
Oh,
more of the
phooey.
story.
You lied
than
to
I.
us.
Perhaps you should speak with him if he's feeling well enough. Be seeing you.
This is an explicitly designed video game. Obviously, there's a solution here. What are we doing? Hello.
What is it? Is there a cure? Has Arelder found a cure? I know there's something he's not telling me.
Very convincing performance there, sir. Tell me about this
Heard
curse.
it, have you? Terrible curse. Been in the family almost longer than anyone can remember. When I was younger, I could live with it. Wasn't so bad. But until it gotten worse over time. I'd come here, to the place it all happened, in the hopes that something could be done. I fear I haven't much time left otherwise.
Oh dear.
Arelder has let me stay, mostly out of pity, I think. But there's something else. I swear he knows more than he tells.
We have a plot twist.
You've seen them, I assume. The only evidence of what happened so many years ago. Do you know
I like
that
how the
I thought
gauntlets had a few
perhaps
flowers
I could
placed
lift
around them.
That
Very
somehow
cute.
this curse would be lifted if I could pick them up. I tried for hours.
Lift.
Until my
Get
whole
it?
body ached.
Like
And I could
lifting
barely
those
move.
gauntlets.
I lay there on the floor.
I'm
next to them,
hilarious.
weeping. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I've been at the end of my rope for far too long to be ashamed of anything.
He allegedly still has more to tell us.
I don't know why they're still here. They're so heavy, and I'm so weak. What does Stendar want from me?
Probably a handshake.
I've seen plenty of pity in people's eyes over the years. I grew up recognizing it. But with Arelder, there's something else there. And when he speaks to me, there are times I'd swear he sounds apologetic. Guilty, even. Why would that be?
Guilty like a
What reason
gear.
does he have to hold back information?
But
I know I'm a doomed man one way or the other. Speak to him if you can. Convince him to tell me what he knows as a dying man's last wish.
you don't look that old.
Good day.
He doesn't look that ill either. But he keeps talking about how he feels he's in such horrible condition. You there,
Welcome, Knight Commander.
cough it up.
It's a horrible thing, truly. One cannot help but pity those such as Kellen, who have such a burden placed on them through no fault of their own.
I agree.
But if
The
it is
divine
will of the
punishment
Nine,
is
then there is little
absolutely
that can be done.
disproportionate. Why would a child inherit their parents' debts?
I cannot face him. I know what might be done for him, but I haven't the will to do it. I wish I could help him. Truly I do. But I cannot muster the strength
Honestly,
to damn
Sunbrohelm,
myself on his behalf.
I'm not sure how much I agree with you, but I do appreciate some of the voice acting in this game. Wes Johnson definitely delivered 120% on every single one of his performances.
The curse. I know what would lift it, but I cannot do it. The only way to free Kellen of his curse is to take it on myself. I am not strong enough to do this, and so I am a failure.
Luckily, we're pretty
I
buff.
fail Kellen every
We should be
time
strong
I
enough to
speak
handle
him.
whatever comes our
And
way.
I fail Stendar every time I pray to him and do not ask for the power to lift the curse. Do you know one who would do such a thing? One who would pray at this chapel's altar, pray to Stendar for the power to lift this curse?
Excuse me. I accidentally inhaled some of my tea. I do that very often. Don't you tell anyone.
He's down in the chapel hall, resting. You may speak to him if you like. I've told you, the only way to lift the curse from Kellen is to pray to Stendar for the power to free.
We should be good to go for now.
But that means taking the curse on yourself. You'll be marked for life, as will all your children and your children's children. Be seeing you.
If I recall, we should have a spell either now or soon which allows us to do this. That's apparently not where we had to go. Are we still needing to talk to him?
Hi!
Oh, we have to pray directly to Stendar himself. I have prayed at the altar in the chapel of Stendar, and have been granted the ability to lay hands on Kellen. I need to see him at once. There we go. Congratulations, we've been given the ability to pat someone on the back. Hey,
Good
buddy.
afternoon.
How's it going? I have lifted the curse from Kellen, which means taking it on myself. As a result, I am weary and my fatigue has been affected. With the curse lifted, I can now retrieve the gauntlets of the Crusader.
How did you? I feel good. I feel good. I don't feel like death. I feel like running.
Have fun, my boy.
Look at me. I can't believe it. I feel normal. Thank you so much. You have no idea what this means to me.
Congratulations,
Finally have a
NPC. You can
chance
run
to
around
get
in
out
circles
and
for
see
the rest of the
world.
game time.
I'm not wasting another second of my life, and I'm forever indebted to you, friend. Farewell.
Great, can you take the curse back, please? So, what the curse affects us with is a constant damage fatigue that will steadily drain our stamina over time. You may now notice, as I'm walking around,
by
our
all
fatigue bar is actually draining. It will recover slowly when we stand still, but while we are venturing out in the wilderness, it will not. I have completed Sir Casimir's quest by recovering the gauntlets of the Crusader. I should continue to search for the relics that the other Ghost Knights were questing for. Fortify, Restoration, and Resist Disease. That should complete our armor set. So now we are there for the more combat-oriented set. What do we have? The shield and the mace, which are both to be found in Zenithar. Leowyn. The mace is Zenithar's belonging.
Greetings, Duncan.
I think that might be the chapel of Zenithar's place down there as well. Before I forget, we shall take a little quest west outside of the city. On the sentiments of Bethesda voice acting, they definitely got some of the biggest names here. Good old Patrick Stewart himself. And Sean Bean. I forget who the third unique voice actor was. There was someone they had specifically for the antagonist of the game. Those are the only 3 unique voices. Well, if you don't count, Shea Gorath himself of the Shivering Isles. But then again, I suppose he's not necessarily a unique voice, as that is also Wes Johnson, who's responsible for most of the Imperials as well. I'm excited for the Shivering Isles, but it will be much further down the road that we get to it. Here it is. The castle in question of Battlehorn. We're just going to mosey on up and pull out our weapon. And we're going to attack whoever looks at us first. None of them are attacking us. There we go. Hey, buddy.
This ends here.
That's obviously the voice of an elf, so he's probably a high elf. He is, therefore weak to magic.
What's the matter? Is the baby gonna cry?
Did you see that? He's just punching them. That's badass. Look at this guy. Look at him go. I want this guy on my side. Ah, shame. Did he not make it? I don't think he made it. What's this? Shield of Truehorn. Well, it's unenchanted. Ah. Must be the shield of all of the guards here. Hello. I believe there was some more for us here. Should be one of our first quests. Or about halfway down the list.
How? This is indeed a dark day
Okay.
for all of us left.
Immediately strike us
Thank
up
you
with a
for risking
conversation.
your own life to help us. Here, take this. It'll tell you all you need to know. As the newest master of the castle, I bid you welcome.
I wish everything in life were that easy. Walk up to a castle, fight someone, and immediately own it. The marauders who were attacking Battlehorn Castle have been defeated, and the grateful survivors have granted me the deed to the castle. I've learned that I can purchase everything I need to restore Battlehorn Castle to its former glory from Nilfas O'Malion at the Merchant's Inn in the Market District of the Imperial City. We will be doing that much later. For now, we have a ways to go. who am I kidding? We don't have any particularly interesting landmarks to find along the way, do we? And that's a good 30-minute journey. Given that we're mostly going from city to city, I think we will keep to our standard rule of just fast traveling. At least for now. If we had more of an audience to engage with, I would definitely just keep up chatter along the way. Would be a wonderful way to keep pace. Now, what are we to be doing while we're here? I must travel to the Chapel of Zenithar in Leowin, and in the Undercroft I must kneel at the shrine there.
Ain't you? I've heard of you. You're the one restoring the Knights of the Nine, aren't you?
In the living flesh.
My name is Kennedy Saholan. Like you, I am a servant of the Nine, specifically of Zenithar. I came here seeking his mace. However, I could not pass the test. I'm no crusader, but that doesn't mean that I cannot serve Zenithar. In light of recent attacks, I've signed on to protect the chapel. I'm fair with a blade, and by my honor, I'll serve the Nine in any way I can.
A noble cause as any. What's your story, my friend?
I grew up in Chetanhall. My father was a cobbler. My mother was an acolyte of Zenithar. She was self-taught.
Ah,
not
cobbler.
part of the chapel proper.
That means he builds
They were.
stone roads, right?
They were both killed in an accident when I was young.
Or does that mean he's
I
a
became a
dessert
ward of the
baker?
crown and was drafted into the Imperial Army.
Please answer that for me.
After
I don't
serving 2
actually
tours
know.
patrolling Stros Mackay, I left the service for a life devoted to Zenithar, inspired by my parents.
What can you tell me about the mace?
Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrike was slain by the Aliads, a messenger carried the mace to the human settlement of Leowin as a message. Centuries later, the master craftsman St. Calidus built the Chapel of Zenithar in Leowin as a tribute to the legend. When St. Calidus
Seems
was laid
awfully
to rest,
grandiose for an
those
old
who prayed
mace.
to Zenithar at his tomb began to receive visions of the mace of the Crusader. Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrike...
Ah, he's literally going to tell us the exact same thing again.
Good day.
Curious shield. What's with the huge spike on it? I don't recognize that shield. I don't think that's any of the standard available ones. Ooh, ghosts. Except they're not hostile. Tomb of St. Calidus. This is where we should be. Well, that was flashy. I've knelt before the shrine of St. Calidus in Leowin, and found myself transported to some sort of dark void. I can see the mace of Zenithar off in the distance. There's a glowing walkway leading towards them. The boots of Kinnereth are vibrating softly, and they seem to have some sort of connection to the mystical path. I'm gonna let you in on the little puzzle to be solved here. You see this bridge? Now you don't. I stepped into the void to try and reach the mace of Zenithar, but my feet met nothing but air, and I fell into the darkness. There must be a way to walk between the platforms and reach the mace. So that's sort of a very cheap puzzle solution here. I remember this one very horribly, as I spent a good hour trying to figure this out looking at the guides. But I've only found that the answer to this puzzle is to have the boots themselves. So the rest of the relics you can achieve in any order. But the mace you have to get after you have the boots. Well, that was extremely easy, wasn't it? Except now we are over encumbered. What are we able to get rid of? For the moment, we will not need that shield. Oh, heavens. Obviously, we don't want to see this guy. Interesting. A spell that both inflicts shock and light. Someone didn't want us to be there. Alien battle axes.
Am I supposed to be impressed? What's the matter?
That is a
Getting
big
tired?
guy. That guy's like 7 feet tall. Makes a lot of metal clinking sounds as he
That's
moves.
the best you can do. What's the matter? Getting tired? What's the matter? Getting tired?
Just keep swinging. There we go. Those Daedra hearts are sort of rare alchemy ingredients. After recovering the Mace of the Crusader, I found the minions of Umaril attacking the Chapel of Zenithar. They were all defeated and the Leowin's chapel escaped desecration. I do believe everyone in here is still alive, so we've done exactly as we had to. Hey, buddy.
I can't believe it. We survived! By the grace of the Nine, we survived!
I
No
believe that was
small
mostly my
part to
work,
you,
but
Sir Knight.
thank you very much.
By your will and the will of the Nine, the Chapel of Zenithar is held against this blasphemer. Sir, I pledge my sword. I wish to join you in your
The
quest to restore the
subtitles
Knights of the
mismatch
Nine
from what he is saying.
and defeat this Umaril.
I accept. Welcome to the Order.
I can only hope to match your bravery and valor. I am honored to serve by your side.
Well, you can't
Allow
save
me
and
to
reload the
fetch
game
more sweet
like I
food.
can, so
I shall
no
return
pressure.
shortly.
Did the Orvans already disappear? No. Half of them have, it feels like.
Good morning.
Well, what time is it? 6 a.m. We will definitely want to relieve ourselves of some of our burdens. Not exactly able to immediately carry everything, are we? We'll just let a couple of hours here pass. I don't know why I did that. I didn't press anything. Hey, mister.
Gundala's guarantees everything almost free. At best goods and guarantees, retail service at warehouse prices.
There we go. I was wondering what was going on with the camera.
I offer the finest goods and lowest price.
His disposition is
I'm
awfully
listening.
low. Let's see about fixing that.
You can't scare me. Sure, that's cute. That's just talk. Not bad. Not bad at all. Have a look
That's
around.
much better. Now then. While we will be doing far less damage with the mace itself, it has plenty of uses and a secondary enchantment, so I think we can...
No deal.
I think we can be rid of our silver longsword here.
That's more than I'd usually pay. You drive a hard bargain.
We don't require the Mythic Dawn stuff either, and that's £6 we could definitely get rid of. We will find plenty more of those later. That should be most of our stuff for now.
Bye.
We will definitely need to make more use of the mage's staff later.
Hello there.
And hello to you too. Ah, right. Our shield should actually be further eastward. Not too far off. Personally, I am more fond of blunt weapons. Or hafted weapons would be the more accurate term for how they are presented in this game. A blunt weapon would definitely be a mace or a hammer, but an axe itself is not a blunt weapon. Hafted is the proper term for anything that attaches a weight on the end of a stick. With a blade, the entire weapon itself is supposed to be dangerous, everything past the hilt, of course. With a mace or an axe, you're supposed to hit with the weighted part of the weapon. It is the weight of the weapon rather than the sharpness, which you're supposed to be hurting people with. Don't know why they just called them blunt in this game. Funny enough, in Morrowind, axes and hammers were actually separate weapons too. As well as long blades and short blades being separate. Morrowind was quite the bizarre game. While I disapprove of most of Bethesda's streamlining of their future games, separating it into one-handed and two-handed with the release of Skyrim, I think, does handle it best. Each of those has a skill tree dedicated to a specific kind of one of the weapons, depending on if you favor axes or hammers or swords. You'll notice our fatigue is running low, and it always will be. I'll let you in on a lovely spoiler, though. That curse is not always going to be a problem for us. Shouldn't be much longer of a travel. I'm surprised we're getting through it so quickly. It's only been an hour, and we only have the shield and the sword left to find. And apparently a lot of little rocks to ramp off of. It's like we're on a racetrack. Watch us fly. And we are here. We need to get inside and find the shield. Evidently, someone around here has exactly 2 arms, and that's important for them to tell us. Oh. Conjurers. Not who I expected to be guarding a shield.
Am I?
There we go. Given that the mace does damage of 4 points over 2 seconds, I think we can slow our swings down a little bit. Give the enchantment the full time to do its damage. Swing, spell, swing, spell, accordingly. Or not. That should be what we need. Let's see what we got down here in the depths. Are Crusaders allowed to sneak? I would hope so. After all, this equipment counts as light armor.
Who's there?
Divine Retribution, that's who. Ah, darn, you were detected immediately before our swing. A shame. Alright, the place is trapped. I suppose we should just expect that, shouldn't we? Here you go. And quickly go between the pillars. Or just, run through. That way we won't die. Unlike that stupid mage who just ran in there and got himself killed. How exactly are traps like that supposed to work? You see darts shooting out the wall, but what mechanism propels them? Very curious indeed. I think now would be an excellent time for a little bit of extra light. Ah, no. It lets us get detected much easier.
Show me what you've got.
Alright, here's what I got. A very good escape strategy. Just run away. Luckily, my potions will protect me. We also have poisons that we should have been using this entire time. Hey, buddy. There we go. The noble Crusader envenoming his weapon. There we go. Those 2006 ragdoll physics. I will never tire of them. Good bit of stuff in there. What is it we are missing? Alembic, mortar and pistol, retort. I believe the last item is a calcinator. It doesn't look like there's one available here. Recently used pickaxe, but doesn't look like there's anything else going on over here. A few jade drum. Curious. They should be weak to shock, which is probably why that's doing so much damage. Mad science triumphs once again. And nothing to be found on them. Here we go again. There. We went through without being hurt this time. Is this an entire dungeon for us to go through? Would be a nice change of pace. Having something more akin to an actual quest. The other challenges were a bit too easy for me. We'll just do that in the middle of combat again. Come back here. I have a mace with your name on it. Well, that was easy. We'll need just a little bit more poison to defeat the Screaming High Elf. Not the scamp. I need to talk to the conjurer. Go away. You missed. There. The instant the mage stops existing, so does the summon. There is a calcinator. That is what we will need. The shield is here. We know this, and yet we have not found it. The fort has been cleansed, and yet still it eludes us. No doubt it was hidden from eyes such as ours, hidden with the intent to keep it from those who would learn its secrets. The gate to the lower levels no longer halts our progress. Make note of the candles along the walls if you would pass through. The fort must be held at all costs if we are to succeed. Let none enter, and leave no foe standing. Ah! We could definitely use another enchanted item. And we're still able to equip both. In this game, you can wear 2 rings. In Skyrim, you can only wear 1. Shouldn't you be able to wear 10? At a bare minimum. Maybe 20 if you were to put one on each knuckle. They'd probably slip off of your fingertips. I love those little mechanisms. Now then, how are we getting out of here? That should be the way we go. Through the caves down here. Something over here, perhaps. Alright. Let's see. Something about the candles on the walls. So... 1, 2, 3, 1. So, let's take a guess. 1, 2, 3, 1. Well, that was egregiously easy. You're telling me a whole bunch of scholarly mages cannot figure that one out? What sort of failed education programs do they have in Cyrodill? I wonder how long that boy's been in there.
I better cut down on the ale. Starting to see things, I am.
Oh, absolutely. Are you ready to have a religious experience, my good friend? Ah, darn, he saw me. Don't want to waste that. Yoink. Oh,
Gate, please.
I didn't notice you were alive.
I've lost track of how long they've held me here.
Evidently not very long, because you still have that muscular physique.
I am Sir Thedred. I came here seeking the shield of the Crusader, and was ambushed by these cowards. They've held me here since.
What are you doing
I've
here,
been
my
held
good sir?
prisoner by these scoundrels for the longest time. They want to know how to reach the shield, and believed I would help them. When I refused, they locked me here, and only let me out to torture me. They got nothing from me.
Well, that's good at least. Why are you glaring at us?
I can't go with you if that's what you mean. I'm too weak. I need to rest. Once I have my strength, I will certainly join your cause.
Certainly.
You'll
Take a
have to
nap
go
and drink
on
plenty of
alone.
water.
But the knowledge I've gained
Every one of
may
you
be of
watching
use.
should also take a drink right now. Like this.
Before finding
Wonderful.
this place, I learned a bit about those who created it. It's designed to keep the shield hidden and safe. A phrase kept coming up in the writings I found. When the eyes of the Guardians are upon you, Julianos will show you favor.
Funny.
I'm not sure how.
The shield is
but I just
associated
know
with
it's a clue
Julianos.
for making it safely through these ruins. You're the only one I've told. I hope it helps you.
Julianos is supposed to be the scholar among the 9 divines. Why would his artifact be a shield? Not, say, the helmet.
Hello? Who's there?
Something to contain all those brains that are overflowing from my skull. And this fellow right here is also about to have his brains overflowing from his skull. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice robe. And nice undies. Just, ignore that in the corner of the screen, please. I'm not monetized yet and do not wish to ruin my chances. I'll take that. The prisoner remains uncooperative. There is little doubt that he is on his own, and none will come to his aid. It has been made clear to him that unless he reveals what he knows, he shall pay most dearly, and yet still he holds out. We give it 1 more week. If he does not help us reach the shield, he is to be disposed of, preferably in a manner most painful. Well, if anyone knows how to inflict excruciating pain, it should be a mad scientist, shouldn't it?
Hello? Who's there?
Me. You heard nothing. Nope, nothing suspicious going on here. Just, going to lockpick this in the middle of combat. We already have an alembic, so nothing for us to do there. Someone this ball could only be a high elf. Or a telemarketer. I wonder if that's exactly... Oh wait, no, there were stairs over here. What am I thinking? They never explicitly want you to parkour in these games. Just in case you happen to be playing, say, an orc who can't jump. I think orcs have the lowest agility stats. Either that or possibly Nords. Which is funny because agility actually affects whether or not you stagger in this game. Well, that's the sound of something dying. Oh, I see. I think they're going in a pattern, so we'll wait until they stop. Head our way across. Flip the switch. Wait for it to close once more and we should be safe. Alright, this looks like a puzzle room. The first puzzle we solved is just how we're going to take all these fellows out. Nice, slowly, and quiet. Or not. Just start running out. That sounds like a bread, so our spells are going to be less effective here. Nice axe. The Daedric weapons still look very imposing in this game. And we are finally out of mace. We'll have to find some other way to make people's eyes burn. And that's too heavy for us, so... we will take a moment to get rid of the various items in our inventory. Cut these down just a little bit. I could definitely use a Restore Intelligence potion after a long day. Ah, hello, welcome to the stream. We are currently on the quest for the Shield of the Crusader. Oh, I'll need those. Ironwood Nut. I don't think I've ever heard that name before. That's not something easy to forget. I don't even remember that ingredient at all prior. Easy. And a Bound Gauntlets tome. If we read the book, does it disappear? It does not. Well, looks like we're back to making potions. Get rid of that. You know, I think we should have saved the mort flesh for something else. Oh, impressive. We have a double effect potion right here. Not that we'd ever need the restore agility part of it. Remove those, because those bog beacons will be very useful for us later. Those peony seeds give us a damage health effect, so I think we should save those. What do we have that is weighing us down the most? Probably these, which we cannot combine with anything. There we go. We have an answer for our delicious crab meat. That should be enough to let us walk out of here. So, what was it? Something about when the eyes are upon you? Obviously, this is one of those very simple rotation puzzles. Just flip the lever in any single one that is not facing towards the center, I believe. You're good. You're not good. You look to be ready, and you could use one more turn. And so could you. All right. Such a fickle statue. That should be it, right? Ah, there we go. We had to stand in the center. Let's take our look through this little tunnel. Ah, great. More mazes to be found. It's funny looking at those caves and seeing very obvious consistent set pieces. Presumably nothing in any one of these chests. I found some sort of puzzle or trap deep inside of Fort Bulwark. I'll need to figure out what it means in order to acquire the shield of the Crusader. You know, this is actually way better. Of course Giuliano's would have a puzzle. Rodgar's helm. Well, that has a skull floating in front of it, so probably that's where we would need to place a helmet. That's not an armor piece, it's a miscellaneous, isn't it? Okay, apparently that's not where Rodgar's helm goes. That's a hammer. I suppose it's only going to show us one item at a time, so we will place his helmet in here. And it seems every time we make a mistake, we get a different indicator. Rodgar's book. So there is a goblet. We'll just start putting these in whatever chests we can find. Until we solve our little case. Ah, there we go. There would be a Welkin stone. Or a Valkin stone. So this should be where we put the skull. There we go, the statue rotates. Rodgar's goblet, which I think was over here. Ah, simple enough. Just a memory puzzle. That one's functional. Process of elimination. Let's try here. Ah, by random chance we found exactly what we were looking for. Rodgar's sword. I don't think this one is lit up, so this is probably where we would find it. Nope, that's not it. His book. Let's try putting the book there instead. Since we haven't seen a book either. Nope, that is also incorrect. A gemstone. Alright. Stone gem. It's between these last three that we find the book and the sword. Well, by random chance, we've made the correct guess once more. So there's hammer. There's stone. There's ruby. And so by process of elimination, that should be sword. It was this one, right? Not on the other side. There we go. Excellent. Who's this Rodgar fellow, and why did he leave his stuff all lying around? Oh, wrong ruby. So now, the final item. What a bizarre assortment of items. Almost looks like he had a full set of equipment, but only a sword and a hammer. Supposedly, I guess he was some sort of a craftsman. We have recovered the shield of the Crusader. I should return to the Priory and find out if there's any news of the remaining 2 relics. What do we have left? I know we have a sword, but what else would we need? We have the boots. We have the cuirass, gauntlets, helmet, shield, mace. Don't know what the other items would be. Obviously, we're going to plunder this ancient shrine. We, need these artifacts on our holy quest, that's right. You believe me, right, Julianos? Seems like an awful waste for a Daedra heart. Let's not do that. Ah! We're now a journeyman in alchemy, which means we can find 3 effects at once. This is where Restore Health is found on the Fly Amanita caps. And from here, Restore Health should be a much more accessible potion. Oh, that's a lot of tomatoes. I suppose we could get rid of several of those then. What would that leave us? Restore fatigue. Burden. Not a particularly useful poison, but we will not be needing Restore fatigue anytime soon. That's enough to let us move out of here. Let us don the shield. Beautiful. The same thing, but with a pair of wings. As is thematic to Pelena Whitestrake's design. Funny, his arch-nemesis was Umaril the Unfeathered, named for his armor which had multiple fins on the back which appeared like wings, but did not actually possess any feathers. Consequently, we have Pelena Whitestrake himself, donning ears on his helmet and a shield. I mean, the wings. I suppose wings could look like ears, especially if you're high elf. It's sort of funny. You find the feather motif on Pelena Whitestrake's armor, but the high elves themselves had a particular obsession for bird or eagle themes in their architecture and religions. Suppose they viewed themselves towering above the rest, which, to be fair, they do. High in the sky. Certainly feels like it with an entire race of airheads. So now, the next part of our quest is to return to the Priory. Hopefully that shall point us in the direction of the last two items. The sword and... what else could we dare be missing? Did he have a ring? He may have had a ring or an amulet, a piece of jewelry. Not very like a Crusader to be vain now, is it? But I suppose if you're going to go slay Sorcerer Kings, it's best that you look good while doing it. Your boy Pelinol has got the drip. I can't believe I just said that. Good lord, that's taking forever. Ah, have a reflect spell, thank you. Respect the reflect. Obviously we see a shrine on our map, so we have to travel towards it immediately. Knowing that this is near Leowin, this should be the Shrine of Nocturnal. Yep, there it is. Talk to me.
We are not afraid of the dark. The Night Mistress gives us eyes to see night's secrets.
A very conclusive statement, thank you.
We seek what the darkness hides, and the Night Mistress is our guide.
Do tell. Is anyone going to be constructive
What is
here?
your business in this place?
Obviously the orc with the really weird hairdo.
You should not be in this place. What is your business here? Do you believe yourself worthy to speak to Nocturnal?
Obviously.
Perhaps you have been summoned. Perhaps Nocturnal desires your service and has guided you here. Approach.
Well,
Remember,
someone's finally
this
helped
place
us.
is sacred.
What does she have to say to us? Nocturnal demands a more powerful champion to begin this quest. So, not at level 6, unfortunately. Leowin is a bit of a detour. I suppose we could stop in Breville and sell some of our excessive equipment on the way there. That will be across the river, won't it? There we go. What sort of a bonfire do we have going on here? What's cooking? What looks to be the remains of someone's house, I'd suppose. I don't think there's anything useful in here either. That's probably relevant to a quest. They don't usually leave a marked location out there like that without it having something relevant. The music stopped, so something obviously is trying to murder us, correct? And it sounds like dinner. Problem taken care of. Eat it raw to assert your dominance. There's a bridge going very clearly to nowhere. Ah, there we go. Now the other assets start to fade in. That still looks like there's a hole there. Okay, never mind. The other part faded in as well.
Ah! Now you will know pain.
Maybe we didn't need to do that. I forgot where I've had my spells bound.
Yay!
There we go. How can you carry around such heavy items? More bog beacons. Now that I think about it. Ah, we now have flax seeds with their third ingredient. So we have the very important combination of bog beacons with flax seeds. to get a dual effect of Restore Magicka and Shield together in one potion, with only 2 ingredients. If you find multiple intersecting effects like that, it will prove a very great boon to you. I also know which shrine this is, and this one is going to be very important for us. For those of you who know, please let me know in the chat. Should we do the single most important Daedric quest immediately or later? Vote overridden. We don't have the weight to carry whatever it is he'd give us. So we'll have to save that for later. Damn it, invisible walls. I'm only trying to walk in a straight line, excuse you. Funny, Sheogorth actually has a different voice if you do his quest before you have Shivering Isles installed. A much less signature and pleasant voice. I think it's something sort of high-pitched and sinister sounding, but I can't remember exactly what it sounds like. I think I've only done that quest while I've had Shivering Isles installed. It's not a voice you'd like to remember. Nothing compare. Damn it. Fine. I'll just head along the road then, since evidently I'm not allowed to travel through the wilderness. I can't be expected to go off safely on my own. So many crabs in so little time. Easy. I suppose we'll stay on the roads for now, at least until we get to Breville. From there, we should be able to make a beeline west to the Priory of the Nine. Very peaceful midnight stroll. There might be a well around here. But we're not so immediately concerned. It's very interesting playing through this game with the Atronach sign. That is the one that prevents you from regenerating magicka naturally. Those alien wells become indisposable when you're playing like that. Especially with the, 150 point bonus to your magicka? There are even character builds which don't use magicka but will still take that sign for the 50% chance to absorb spells. You can acquire an additive set of effects from a few different pieces of equipment. I believe it's the Sorcerer's Ring. If you have 2 of those, and the Atronach sign, you should be immune to just about every spell that comes your way after that point. I'm a streamer, so obviously I have to deal with trolls very often. They don't usually have 3 eyes, though. Fine, I'll get the fire spell out. Hey, buddy. His health is regenerating a bit too quickly for me to take him out down with the mace, so we'll just do this instead. Allegedly, the Elder Scrolls lore says that trolls regenerate health very quickly, but cannot heal from burns very well. Of course. Those flax seeds are weightless. Using those will not help us any bit. Remove those. What else can we get rid of? I suppose that's a good way to make plenty of Restore Magicka potions for ourselves. There we go. That's enough to get us within the walls of Breville, where we will promptly take a nap. As the saying goes, you're going to Breville. but I don't want to go to Breville. It's a very unsanitary place. Ah, yes, that reminds me. While you have the boots of the Crusader on, since they are Kinnereth's relic, the wildlife will be very, very kind to you. So, I'm going to do you all a favor. We have now pet the dog in Oblivion. I did tell you this was the greatest game of all time. You understand. This is now required of us. Every single wolf we come across. So long as they remain good boys to us. I wonder what gifts that. Is it the gauntlets? Yes, it is. How lovely. Shame you don't get too many followers in this game. Although at the end of this questline, you do get plenty of knights that can join you. Take a step into here. And I don't know, we'll just find one of the guild halls. That would be a great place to sleep. Let us smooch this piece of marble real quick. Not that it's going to help us, we're about to sleep. And we'll be getting rid of that buff very promptly. Funny that the Fighters Guild don't have any uses outside of a few halls. Ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of stamina. Please tell me this will not be happening at any regular intervals. I wonder if that happens based off of your agility skill.
Greetings, guildmate.
I know if your fatigue goes into negative, that's where it paralyzes you. But most of the time, effects will not put you into a negative stamina amount. While we are cursed, I suppose we will be capable of spontaneous breakdowns. Or breakdances. I'm also very capable of spontaneous breakdowns. How about yourself? Take our visit to the shopkeeper
You'll
here.
always get a fair deal here. Tell me more. Can I interest you in...
And let's get rid of all of our useless junk. We're not going to need that. This compares nothing to our shock staff. I'd rather throw lightning bolts anyway. I don't think we'll be enchanting anything useful soon, so we are welcome to sell our jewelry as well. We're keeping the guard helmet. These are available in plentiful amounts later, so we will not need that for now.
That's more than I'd usually pay.
A robe offering a meager shield will only be useful for us if we're trying to go pure spellcaster, which we are past that point for the moment. Let's get rid of these potions of burden. They're weighing us down. I'm hilarious.
You drive a hard... That's it.
Get rid of these. Get rid of these.
Fine.
Resist paralysis is not particularly useful. You can just get potions of cure paralysis instead.
Fine.
You can drink
That's
those
more...
while you're falling down.
You drive a hard...
Like a practiced drunk, you don't need to keep your balance in order to have a good time. I don't think we'll be running into too many damage strength effects either, so we won't have use of those. We will also sell all of our heavier potions that weren't made ourselves. The potions that are self-brewed will be a lot more easily usable. and also only 1/5 of the weight.
That seems a fair price.
We're not dealing with paralysis enough to need that cure paralysis potion. We'll deal with that later.
That's
The scrolls
more
we
than
can
I'd
also
use-
sell.
Thank you for your business.
I don't know what use we'd have of that repair hammer either. After all, our items are now just completely enchanted. We've made a lot of progress tonight, so we will hit the ever-important save button before we continue. Always do that in several intermittent times.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, it's me. Why do you not sound less than pleased? Or do sound less than pleased? I suppose that would be the much better terminology. Now it is a trip due west, returning to the Priory. From there, we are on our quest for the remaining 2 relics. Let me have that real quick. Here, hold this. No harm in using the mace, since it's not like we're going to be expending any charge from it. Give me that. Why are you using fire spells on a dark elf? Ow! If I'm done, you're Dunmer. Or I suppose he's dumb if I'm the Dunmer. Is that 9,000 gold? We are already rich. Don't really need to return to the arena quest now, do we? I forget, did we even talk to the Great Prince once more? We completed his quest, but I don't think we delivered to him the news. Ah, we have not. We will do that when we return to the Imperial City. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you like it? I make lots of Elder Scrolls puns in my spare time. Dumb and Dunmer. You know, casting spells actually costs you 1 stamina in this game, though you hardly ever notice it. It's very possible at some point, while I am out of stamina, if I keep casting spells, I might just keel over. You know, for a good laugh, why not make ourselves a damage stamina spell at some point? We did recently acquire access to the Arcane University, so it is well within our capabilities. I remember approaching a point when I was on my very first Oblivion profile. I'd already done most of the quests in the game, so it came time to mess around. I made a very egregious damage stamina on self-spell and would just go running off of a hill. Cast it, and then you start falling down as a ragdoll. It's hilarious. There was a video I saw of Skyrim a while ago. A favorite pastime of mine is to go to the throat of the world and find the frost trolls you are guaranteed to find about halfway up the slope. From there, a paralyze spell accompanied with a good old Fusro Da sends them tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. What a beautiful water feature. I know one of these waterborne plants is very important to us. How do you pronounce that anyway? Hyacinth? There's just so many imps. Ah! We are now level 50. Our destruction skill. And we are ready for another level up. I suppose that means we should take that opportunity to rest. After all, any of our future level ups will not count towards this one. We still do not continue to optimize ourselves because, let's be honest, this game is already messed up. You cannot fix what is beyond repair. That's a lie, you absolutely can, but I'll go for a slightly modded playthrough if we ever have a wider audience. I'd like a good word from the viewers on if we're able to add a few quality of life improvement mods. I would hope so. I'm definitely not playing without the unofficial patches. But there is a leveler mod I play with which automatically handles your attributes according to your skills. That way you don't have to min-max your level ups like you do in the regular game. I might do the same for Morrowind. Oblivion is a great starting point, but Morrowind would be possibly a much more legendary playthrough. I do believe this is that abandoned house. Yeah, there we go. The Priory will be just over here then. Ah, what a lovely view in the middle of the forest. Very, very cozy. Since there are the horses here, I do believe this is the point in which some of our other friends have moved in. We will require a shrubbery.
Sir Knight, thank Arche you are back. I have terrible news. Sir Roderick, I think he's dead.
Well, fortunately for me, I don't remember who he is.
A holy knight, like you, questing for the relics at the Prophet's call. I was his squire. I believed he was chosen by the gods to reclaim the relics.
No, that's my job.
At first things were going well. He prayed at all the shrines and received a vision, a disturbing vision.
The last season of Game of
The shade of
Thrones.
Sir Beric spoke to me was all he said. We must put him to rest. We traveled back and forth across Colovia. He was always asking about an old noble family, the Vlindrels. Finally,
Vlindrel.
he found what he was looking for.
That
We
sounds
went
familiar.
to Underpall Cave, and there he fell.
What was he looking
He
for?
said that Sir Beric's tomb was in Underpall Cave, which is no cave, but some kind of buried keep. He had learned that Sir Beric had once been a questing knight, like us. He had found the greaves and sword of the Crusaders.
Ah, right.
Then turned
We still
to
need the
evil.
greaves, don't we?
Sir Roderick hoped
I'm so used to
find
Skyrim,
the
in which
relics
the
within Sir
legs
Beric's
and the
tomb,
torso are
and
together
he
in one
did.
piece.
But we also found a terrible guardian, the wraith of Lord Vlindrel, Sir Beric. Yes, my lord, and I brought you. Sir Roderick shouted for me to take them. The greaves, the holy relic, they're yours.
Ah, thank you. We didn't have to quest for that one, did we?
The wraith. It used it against Sir Roderick. I don't know how that evil thing could use the holy weapon, but it did. It screamed as it struck.
Obviously, the thing's been desecrated.
I'm sorry. I remember Sir Roderick saying something about the sword before we went to Underpall. It may be important. He was worried that the sword may have been turned to evil, that it may have to be reconsecrated on the altar of its creator, the divine Arche.
It sounds simple
That's
enough.
all I remember. I hope it may help you.
Just get some orange juice and it will be concentrated.
Sir, might I ask a boon? Let me come with you. I would become a Knight of the Nine and dedicate my life to the service of the gods.
It's your funeral.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Knight. I will not fail you. Give me a moment to arm myself, and I will accompany you to Underpall Cave to destroy the foul wraith.
He's going to die, isn't he?
Well met.
We got the greaves, so does that mean I've been walking around? Okay. I've had leather on. Thank goodness.
tonight.
I was worried I might have been having too much fun and been walking around without
Let's
pants
hear it.
this entire time.
Take Cheydinhal, for example. Pretty little town. But the Count's a dark elf, and it's crawling with orc thugs and gangsters.
Aren't you supposed to be
I've
equipping
heard others
yourself?
say this.
Ah, the nerve of some people. Conversation when there's work to be done.
Sergius Terrianus, at your service. Thedret and I go way back, and he said there was need of a blacksmith here.
Finally,
It'd
someone
be
to
an
sell
honor
my stuff
provide
to.
what service I can. So, you need anything repaired, you come see me.
Repaired, but it doesn't look like he's available to buy anything.
Not smart to carry around broken equipment.
You're right.
Good day.
So I'm going to show you a little trick. Hello, my ghostly boys. You see all our equipment is slightly damaged here. Place all relics. And then take all relics. Ignore the fact that for a moment I wasn't wearing clothes. And all of our equipment is repaired and recharged. That is why I elected to go for the Crusader's relic so early. It is a much more sustainable set of equipment. Plus, look at how snazzy we look. Beautiful.
Yes, Commander?
Ah, Sir Lathon.
I am at your command, sir.
Lathon.
Of course.
Let's go, buddy. Crusader's arm added. So would that mean I'm carrying around the arm of a dead guy? Shield. Holy Aura. There's just a passive shield effect on that. Useful. Very useful. His master perished while attempting to defeat the dreadful undead guardian of the Sword of Crusader. And where is it that we are going? Quite the long distance, I suppose. We're not weighed down so much anymore, so it should be a trip just due north of here. I hope you're all enjoying the stream. I've had a very wonderful night so far. Ah, that's what we needed. We needed a moment to rest and level up. We'll take ourselves a lovely little Crusader's nap. +5, exceptional. +1, and... We will have plenty more level ups in speed, so I don't think we need to focus on that now. To help ourselves carry on a little bit more weight, we will invest into strength instead of willpower. We do use our spellcasting quite often, but intelligence will be more important to us than willpower. Although I suppose we shouldn't be wasting too many level ups, should we? Where's our alteration? 10. Okay. We have plenty of time to secure level ups for our willpower. It's mostly destruction that we will have to worry about for now. But as we continue to heal ourselves and later down the line shield ourselves, that should give us the chance to max out our willpower in a timely fashion. Oh, you had a horse. Is one of those available for me? I'm not making that trip backwards. They seldomly lend you free horses in this game. There is one that you get very quickly in the main quest, however. Now that I consider it, why not head to Cheydinhal sometime and buy one of their horses? Those are the fastest ones you can get in the game until, you know who. We're not using conjuration very much anymore, are we? Let's, fix that. We definitely won't be needing to use our bound dagger for now, so we'll have a dedicated key for petting the dog. Such a good lad. I think that extends to mountain lions and bears as well. What other creatures? Normally hostile. Nothing I can think of. Unfortunately, it doesn't pacify the mythical creatures like the imps or the trolls. Or the minotaurs, despite the fact that those are bulls. Are you still following me? Sir Lactose Intolerant will definitely catch up to us later. Deer already don't attack you. Unfortunately, it doesn't let you pacify them. Well, it suddenly just became foggy in here. Like I just walked into a skooma den. Ah, we'll need those. We should definitely make more use of our potions, too. Always leave a few of your slightly less usable skills, or at least the ones not good for combat. Do not use those as your major skills. Last time I was playing, I made the egregious mistake of selecting alchemy as one of my major skills. Leveled that up, but no amount of potions will protect you from all the beasts you find in the wilderness. Good boy. I didn't even see whose shrine that was. Funny, crabs still attack you. Isn't this one of nature's creatures? Why does Kinnereth not have a favor with crabs? Maybe it only works on mammals. Crustaceans, as you should know, are egregiously evil animals. Well, this puppy's getting himself hurt. See that? He's got low health. Oh, I see how it is. Luckily for you, I am being very merciful today. Good day to you, sir. Such an ungrateful little bit. Probably shouldn't say that word, no matter how appropriate it would be. I make my best attempts to watch my tongue. Not necessarily that I am afraid to swear, but it can ruin the atmosphere, shouldn't it? I get by off of being so professional, at least. The fewer swears you use, the more impact the few you do use will have. I suppose we could have detoured into the Imperial City at this point. There we could have done the little quest for our boy in the arena. But more importantly, we need that sword. They did talk about it becoming tainted with evil, so I think something very bad happens if you pick it up. Or if you hold it in your hands. Placing it in your inventory will not be so dangerous to you. Woof. Can you perma-control wildlife in this game? I don't know how long ago that message has been, but there is the command creature spell, which, if you're a master of illusion at least, you're able to keep up casting it faster than it takes for the magicka to, or slower than it takes for the magicka to recharge it. So, unfortunately, you will have to keep casting the spell over and over, and I think it would wear off if you fast travel. But there are ways to just keep casting command over and over again. You could find a mod that gives you a spell with an egregiously long duration of a command spell. Similar to the Thrall spells you find in Skyrim. Those actually don't last forever. I think they're hard-coded to last for 999 days. That would be very interesting and would make illusion much more powerful late game. If you could constantly have one little animal companion, I'd love it. I'll have to check up on my Skyrim mods. I think the illusion tree did allow you to have a master level spell which allowed you to have one permanently controlled companion at a time. Beast or human. Such a good boy. Of course, that is with mods. Anything is possible with mods. From all the nonsense I've seen, at least. We should have stayed on the roads. We're going mountain climbing again. You know, now that I think about it, if our fatigue is this low, and we just start jumping, once this fight is done with. Oh, well, that answers my question.
Don't feel bad? No one lives forever.
Would you two go away? Let's just deal with them this way. Luckily, my potions will protect me. That, and there's our shield potions. Those will be very useful for us.
You elves are all the same.
Let me just stop combat and do that real quick.
Let's get this over with.
Goodbye. And now, to return to our question. While my fatigue is running low, what happens if I keep jumping? I'm just gonna keep mashing that. Surprisingly, it has not had an adverse effect on us yet. It should send us reeling into a ragdoll. I suppose the game has a lot of checks to try to prevent that. It might even be a freak accident that we would get paralyzed when we're not actually affected by any temporary damage fatigue effects. I suppose we could keep doing that, since we're going to be out of stamina anyway. Wouldn't hurt to level up your acrobatics with that janky jumping animation. After you level up your acrobatics a bit, you start being able to attack in midair, which has a very important side effect of letting you attack while running down a slope. Normally you're prevented from that, at least with the way slopes work in this game. There we go. Easy enough. We take our trip into this little cave. Morty flesh. You know, now that I consider it, what happened to Sir Lathon? He might no longer be with us. But this was the first game where they tried working with, followers. He might just be lagging behind. But hey, if he can't keep up with my Crusadin, what sort of a squire is he? Look at that brilliant orange hue on our weapon. Who would have a graveyard underground? Other than necromancers. Ah. Class, here's your lesson in anatomy. I brought a skeleton for us to look at. Much easier to observe if they're standing still, of course. Tailbone's connected to the... Ah, forget it. We will have our divine justice, and you will not see it coming. From the shadows, I bring the light. Oh, right. We have a turn undead effect on our mace, so... as long as we give him an occasional whack, he should leave us alone. And by that I mean, absolutely do nothing, while we continued to tase him. I don't want to know where that lockpick was kept. Nothing. Except a fire. Beautiful. Poetic, even. Hey, buddy. A simple 1-2 punch should do the trick. Nice ass. Ugh. Could you imagine how a place like this stinks? Nothing suspicious going on here. Absolutely not. Really, a rat of all things is what notices us. Fine. It's your funeral. Now that I think about it, the mace is not technically a blunt weapon either, is it? I see there's a hole here, so... obviously I can't just walk up and smack him. Oh. That is a row of spikes and that is hurting us. And that is a dead end, which will hurt us psychologically. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you were intelligent enough to weave through the spikes, that wouldn't have happened. No. Silence. Once we have our chance to return to the Shrine of Nocturnal, that should do a lot better for us. That is where we would get the skeleton key. Ah! Interesting selection of gear in here. Excuse me for 1 second. And I return. I walked back and forth in front of the camera several times. My character model was spazzing out, wasn't it? I need to get a technical difficulties button. Now, where were we? Easy enough. We're already starting to find dwarven equipment. Funny that allegedly equipment made by such grand engineers of the past is not as good as Orcish. You'd think some dwarven engineering would be superior to a bunch of muscular elven brutes. To each their own. Evidently, we still have to go back through here. Back to the same old halls. You know, I bet we had to go past that skeleton. How have you not noticed me yet? I hear another rat. There we go. Get it a little bit brighter in here. Ah, hello, welcome to the stream. We are searching for the Sword of the Crusader right now. Haven't we already been through here? It feels like we have, but then again this entire place looks the same. No, there's two of them to deal with. Alternating in a swing and a lightning bolt. I just got the electric touch. And there we go. I'd much rather have the sword, thank you very much. Where exactly is it written that maces are allegedly so effective against undead? You see that trope recurring so often in, say, D&D and other fantasy works. Well, that was rude. Thank you very much. There's more of them. Luckily, my lightning bolts will protect me. What is a crab doing all the way down here? That's egregious. Alright. It looks as if all these traps have already been triggered. We do not get turned undead on our mace anymore. We already swung it one too many times. So now, we'll have to consistently put up a fight with all the skeletons we run across. Now that I think about it, that's something we could have done to handle all the skeletons earlier. Handle it with more patience, Xander. There we go. Hey, it's dark in here. How do you live like this? Come on, buddy. I don't have all day. Now this spot once again looks very familiar. Hopefully we didn't take yet another wrong turn. You know what? I'm going back. Oh. Well, hey there.
I am at your command, Sir Knight. As you command. Although, I don't think this is the way Sir Roderick and I came.
You're not the one leading us here, are you? Well, this is obviously the untraveled passage. Look, there's things that haven't been made dead twice over. He's dead once already, you know that. Ah, goodness gracious. Well, now we're apparently good with maces, even though we're never going to be using them again. I don't think there's any other blunt weapons in the game that we'll be using. A lot of the good weapons that are supposed to be leveled specifically to your character actually have both a blunt and a bladed version. There's one you find in the Shivering Isles, which functions just that way. Other than that, most of the best weapons you find are blades. We will find our way through here. Eventually. You, getting in some good exercise there, I see. Jogging in place. Well, I suppose Crusading has a reason for that. Now we will see which direction we haven't gone yet. Was it really that simple? Behind us the entire time. What reason did we have to travel in every other direction then?
Don't worry, I'll take this.
Yeah, I hear you're crusading over there. Well done, sir. You showed that rat who's boss.
What's the matter?
That is obviously the sound of rocks falling. Please don't kill yourself on the stray boulders, sir. I should have been referred to him as just a young squire. Now then. We are not too far from our goal. No longer do we have ruins, but a decrepit cave. Slowly getting richer. The gods favor us with wealth. Who's the wealth god anyway? Was that Zenithar? I know he's the god of work and trade, but... Ah, well, here's the man of the hour. I'll put those gauntlets to good use, don't you worry. My men knew how to dress. I don't think this fight is too difficult, is it?
You were a brave knight and a good master. Long may your name be remembered in the annals of the relics.
I agree. Now help me with this ghost. But first...
Knights of the Nine!
A swing so powerful it paused the game. Your endurance has been damaged. Well, we should definitely stay away from him then.
Down in the name of Father Arcanine.
He is permanently lowering our stats with those attacks.
Take that.
And that sword is doing an exceptional amount of damage versus us. Come on, give him just a few more smacks. I can't see my face. Will you please just smack him? I just realized. Our friend here probably only has a steel weapon, doesn't he?
Show me what you've got.
He is literally not
Stand
helping
up,
us.
grant mercy, for I shall not.
Look at him.
This ends here.
He's got a steel weapon, and he's attacking a ghost. If I could have given him silver, I would have. There we go. The Wraith of Lord Vlendril is destroyed. I need to reclaim the sword of the Crusader that he somehow twisted to his evil purpose. I've recovered the sword of the Crusader, but it has been desecrated by the foul wraith that wielded it. I should take it to the Chapel of Archay in Shadenhall to reconsecrate it to its holy purpose. Whatever that means.
Sir Roderick is avenged, and you have recovered the sword of the Crusader. I'll return to the Priory and give my fellow knights the good news. Farewell!
You were not that much of a help. Seriously. You knew there was going to be a ghost here. Why did you bring steel? Always have one of steel and one of silver. Both for monsters. I'm never playing The Witcher 3 on this channel. I take that back. Maybe I will. If there's enough demand for it. These zombies take an awfully long time to defeat. Why is it that decayed flesh is so durable? No, cut it out. There we go. I don't think bones are that flammable. That's bizarre. Now then, our way out of here should be very easy. So long as we get past the rocks. At least they don't have the same physics simulations as in Skyrim. Just walking adjacent to those boulders could kill you. And easily, too. I'll race you to the exit, my guy.
This is the way, Sir Roderick.
Yes, we already finished your little quest here, buddy. Let's see what we have here. Well, it shouldn't be that long of a quest, but for the sake of keeping things tight, I'm at least going to walk straight there. Or fast travel. Our mace has a faded out icon, which means it's below its 50% threshold. A lot of our items are wearing down on durability as well. If you can have the time to find a full set, Shivering Isles actually has durable items which have an extra 50% condition compared to their regular variants. I'm glad they got rid of the equipment maintenance. That was such a burden on gameplay.
This ends here. Show me what you got.
Are these guys vulnerable to poison at all? That is an awful amount of health they have. I'm going to need more. And perhaps a skelly boy to help me. They're making the same sounds as Shilbai, funny enough. After all, they're obviously based on the same creature. The cat continues to make his noise. I hardly knew you. The Sword of the Crusader has been reconsecrated. I now possess all 8 of the Crusader's relics. Before I return to the Priory, I must prevent Umaril's Aurorans from desecrating the Chapel of Archay. Well, it's no longer quest item, so it is now weighing us down. What else can we get rid of? More importantly, what has a feather effect for us? I think flax does, interestingly enough. Ah, there we go. These will be exceptionally useful for us. They wandered downstairs, didn't they? Okay, buddy. Really, are they anywhere else to be found around here? Did they run down here? That feels like that was it. Unless there are a few outside. I guess it's a little too late to prevent that desecration.
This ends here.
Never mind, they did show up. Ah, that's way more like it. That's a lot of damage. Well, that's a brave view. Umaril's Aurorans have been destroyed. Shadenhall Chapel is safe, for now. I should return to the Priory to consult my knights about how to attack and destroy Umaril himself. You, seem to be the only person who survived.
I'm in your debt for saving the Chapel of Archay from being defiled by those foul creatures. Bye.
That was badass. She was just taking them on with her fists. Alright. We make our way to return to the Priory of the Nine. With our newfound sword, which will serve us a lot better. Significantly more powerful. That's definitely a good saving point. We have all of the gear we require. A full set of armor and 2 weapons. Plus the shield. That counts as armor, I'd say. That is not my horse. It's a long trip southwest, I suppose. We got a ways to go. I think we can make the trip this time. Gives us plenty more time to hang out with each other, doesn't it? My windows are open. You may hear the outside ambiance. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. We have damaged endurance. Let's see if we can fix that. Restore endurance. Seriously. Nothing else to create a potion. However, that restore endurance is the first effect of our crab meat. 42. 44. Remember, kids, if you're feeling unhealthy, a bit of delicious raw crab meat ought to do the trick. That's definitely how it works. Video games never lie to you, after all. They're always thoroughly researched. Gamers won't let you get away with spewing out falsehoods. They're the angriest people on the planet, after all. We're going to ignore the roads for the most part. Look at that, we've already almost maxed out our speed. It's in our 80s, isn't it? 84. And look at how swift we are. That boy is off on a crusade, and ain't nothing gonna stop him. The boy could compete in the Olympics. So fast, and only at level 6 too. What a beautiful view we have. While we are near the Imperial City, why not make a pit stop? We'll make our way across the landscape over here. You know, I can probably catch up with this deer. I've always wanted to do this. Boop. There we go. It's actually mad at us. It's mad at us for healing it. It's trying to kill us because we healed it. Not the behavior I'd expect from wildlife. Hey there, give me a blessing. Thank you. I'll heal that boy too. Make him angry. Why don't the two of you fight? Deer versus crab, see who wins. The armored crustacean, or the swift, Oh. Seems I've run out of feather. Let's drink another one of those. That did last us more than 5 minutes, though. The boars won't attack us either. That's what else we are missing. This should be our way into the market district. What else is weighing us down? What do we get rid of?
I hope I can help.
You most
Perhaps you
certainly
need
can.
new armor, a weapon.
Get rid of these. Get rid of
That's a
these.
fair deal.
Don't need these anymore. Not gonna make too much use of
You
these
got
with
a
all our
great deal.
enchanted items either.
That's a fair deal. You.
I'd like to keep those.
Goodbye.
I think we'll have to manually make it our way there. We could talk to our, Grey Prince boy, but I'd like to not divert our storyline too much. While we're here, we should focus on crusading, and nothing more. We have a very important mission to undertake. Plus, it will help focus the story furthermore on our Grey Prince buddy when we get to him.
You have my ear, citizen.
Thanks,
What
call
is
me
it?
Mike Tyson. From here now, it should be mostly a straightforward walk southwest. Ah, there we go. We have our direction, and we are already halfway there. Seems there wasn't too much we were able to sell. We'll have to set down our 22-pound mace of the Crusader once we get there. Actual weapons weren't allowed to be that heavy. 22 pounds, could you imagine swinging around something of that weight? Funny that the sword is even heavier. Realistically, they were only supposed to be about 5 pounds or so. I believe that was the number, I may be wrong. Imperial units are more difficult to measure in. One of the most important things about medieval warfare is keeping up your stamina. If you're tired, you're very easy to knock down. And in real life, you get in a fight, you get knocked down, and you pretty much lose from there. Unlike in fighting games, a knockdown is an opportunity to make a comeback. Gives you a brief reprieve. Here, I'm gonna need more of these, thank you. It was either the Hyacinth or the Sacred Lotus. One of them gives you both Restore and Fortify Magicka. We are not allowed to miss a single good boy. The best of boys. I think our feather potions should last us the way there. Here we go again. Crusading needs a few good flowers. My apologies if that made anyone dizzy. Certainly looking around in every which way direction. When will you people learn? That is much quicker with the sword than with the mace. That strikes me as so bizarre. If the mace is supposed to be the weapon that uses the weight to deliver its force, why is it lighter than the sword? Maybe you don't need that much weight if it's all concentrated in one area. It might not even be either of these flowers. Let's look. Water Hyacinth. Damage luck, damage fatigue, and then the other one would be Sacred Lotus. That has feather, which is useful to us, but it's not the effect we're looking for. It seems our potion has not lasted us. A short trip back to the Priory. Make our way past the alien well here. Quick pit stop. And just at the bottom of the hill is our destination. Now hopefully the place isn't on fire. I can't remember if it gets attacked by Aurorans right before the finale.
Lord Crusader, the prophet is here. He's just arrived.
You mean the
He
madman?
seemed to know you were
He's
coming.
still taking a part
Told
of
me
this.
to wait for you, and here you are. Come. He is preaching to the assembled knights in the chapel. You should speak to him at once.
I'm not sure he has anything more important to say. Oh, would you look at that? We did get our shrubbery. I was only gone maybe 2 days. Something tells me our prophet boy wasn't down here. And now, we take everything, but we will leave the mace here. Please ignore my chiseled abs. Wrong helmet. Now, all of our equipment is repaired and recharged, and we are ready to go. Ah, they're in the chapel.
And so, 9 knights, as the embodiment of the might of the 9 divines, shall go forth together to face the unfeathered.
His lips are
And
barely
he shall
moving.
be cast down from on high, his wickedness scattered to the wind. He shall end his days as dust in the void.
That's also Wes Johnson,
Go
isn't it?
now, knights.
He sounds like he's trying
Face
too
the
hard,
beast.
and I love it.
Fear not death, for the 9 shall be your shield, and they shall bring you to rest, should you fall.
It shouldn't be hard to get a voice acting gig if this is all that you can get by on.
From the humble shadows of obscurity and into legend.
And you were smack-talking me a week
No feat you
ago.
have accomplished in your life compares to what you have become.
Well, it's only just beginning.
You are an embodiment of Pelinal Whitestrake, the bane of Umarul the Unfeathered. The time has come for you to fulfill your
He's
destiny.
slowly weaving back and forth.
Umarul lies hid in the
Are you
ancient
okay, buddy?
fane of Garlus Malatar.
Are you sober?
You must go there and destroy him.
I am ready, then.
No. Should you face Umarul, you would suffer the same fate as Pelinal.
This guy's just full of
Times
plot twists, isn't
change,
he?
And even the shape of the divine itself must change with it. Where once there were 8, now 1 more stands with them, and they have become 9.
So we have the 8 relics. That would mean we need 1 more thing from Tiber Septim himself.
Aye, with the apotheosis of Tiber Septim, the face of the divine was transformed. Talos ascended, and the 8 became 9.
I wish I could laugh without moving my lips.
So, although you wear the armor of the gods, it is
Laugh aloud. At best I can do a
incomplete.
faint chuckle.
A relic of the old ways and the old gods.
How do I destroy
As
this
a
buddy,
proven
then?
guardian of this realm, and a warrior the likes of which have not been seen in millennia, Talos grants you his sacred blessing. With the ancient gifts of the 8 and the new gift of the 1, you are ready to face Umaril.
So now we got the
It will
blessing.
allow you to follow Umaril into the spirit realm upon his death. It will allow you to destroy him, body and soul, utterly and for all time.
Sweet, I get to kung fu his ghost.
You must first kill his living body. While beyond the power of most mortals, this is only the lesser of your two tasks. His Daedric nature allows his spirit to escape into oblivion after death. Oh, this is what Pellinor learned upon defeating Umaril the first time. But you can do what Pellinor could not.
Interesting that he's
The blessings of Talos
Daedric.
will allow you to follow Umaril's spirit when it leaves his body. This you must do, and you must not fail. You will not, because the Nine fight with you.
And me makes 10. What kind of a foe is he? I think that's the only important question we have here.
By any normal means. His blows can strike down the mightiest of warriors in a single stroke. The Eight created the relics to withstand Umaril's fell power. Do not attempt to face him without this divine protection.
And what if he really does kill us if we're not wearing the armor?
Garlas Malatar was the westernmost outpost of the Aeliad Empire. It watched over what we call the Abyssinian Sea. Since his return, Umaril has taken Garlas Malatar as his lair. That is where you must seek him out.
His voice is awfully raspy.
When Umaril joined with the Daedra, his spirit expanded beyond this realm. His physical form can travel between realms, but his spirit is bound.
Ah, so he wasn't Daedric at
When
first.
his body is destroyed,
Because he was
his
supposed to be an
spirit travels
alien
back
king.
to Oblivion and is reformed in the fires of creation. With the armor of the gods and the blessing of Talos, you will be able to follow him where Pellinor could not and destroy his very spirit. Once his spirit is destroyed, he will be completely obliterated, erased from all realms of existence.
Sounds simple enough.
Your knights will assemble at Garlas Malatar and await you there. Gather all those who you deem worthy. Not all who enter those halls shall return. Those who fall in service of the Nine will live on forever in the halls of their fathers.
I'll make sure they come back.
I wish you well on your quest,
Even if I have the
Crusader.
saves come.
We are depending on you.
Commander?
Commander.
Quite lovely, isn't it? You guys ready for the fight of a lifetime? Well, I'm afraid you will just have to wait for that one. For next time. Let's see, what do we have on the itinerary? We have the Great Prince to talk to, as well as Umaril to crusade. Don't know if that will happen in a few days or next week. My schedule will be very sporadic as I'm preparing to move. I should be able to complete my move-in by August. I have started using my Twitter recently this week, so we should hopefully be able to get a few more people in here to watch our epic battles. Guilty Gear definitely on the weekend, as always. More Yeehaw will come whenever. But for now, good night. I hope to see you again soon. Class dismissed.